Well, I haven't actually done a shop tour for you guys since I've been in this new workshop, and since I've just spent the last couple of days rearranging the place, I thought, why not do it now? So that's what we're going to get into. So just behind me here is where I used to have my wood rack, and I sort of discovered that this half of the shop, being the smaller ceiling height and closer to the roller door, is quite a bit cooler than the back half of the shop. So I decided that seeing as though I do most of my work at my workbenches or the assembly table, or at least that's where I spend the most part of my time, putting the workbenches here is probably the smartest thing to do. So that's what I've done. So you all probably remember my split top Rubo, and just out of frame to the left is my solid top Rubo workbench, and these things are great. And if you weren't aware, I actually just did a really in-depth 12-part video series of how to make one of these. So if you want to check that out, just click this link here and you'll be taken to the front of that playlist. So here is where my assembly table is going to be. So I haven't actually built that yet. There will be a video of it in the future, but as you can see, it's going to be a full-size sheet of MDF for the top, and it's just going to be cabinet base, which is on wheels, so I can wheel it out here, have full access on all corners, and then when I'm doing milling, which is where the camera is placed right at the moment, I can wheel it out of the way and not worry about damaging that or getting in the way of the mill. Now this table here is actually my old outfeed table, which I did a video on, so you can click this link here if you want to see that. But pretty much with my new table saw, this isn't being used as an outfeed table, so why not make it into something I can use anywhere in the shop. So now, as we start making our way backwards in the workshop, we get into the machinery area, so you've just been in the hand tool area. And to give you that feel of two separate areas, I've put in this sort of dividing wall, if you will, just once again made out of old pallets. And this is really useful. So as you can see, I've got things hanging off it from all over the place: extension cords, slings, safety gear, drills, sanders, everything really can be hung on this thing. And yeah, I actually quite like having a divided space, which is nice and low so you can still see over it. But you know, it just keeps the two areas separate, and I think it's a good idea. Now, if you've been watching the podcast for a while, you probably remember when I got this. This wasn't that long ago, maybe 6 months or so. But this is my 14-inch jointer, so it's a beautiful old machine. Not sure how old, but we know it's at least 60 years old. But yeah, this thing is a beast. So the only problem with this machine is the motor has a slightly bent shaft, which causes a bit of vibration once it's up to full speed. But I have got a replacement motor for it, I just haven't got the pulley. So once I have that sorted out, that won't be a hard thing to do. Now, just behind the jointer here is my drill press. Now, this is sort of just a corner I could get it into, and it worked out quite well because with the bed of the jointer, if I just swing the table off to the side, it doesn't get in the way at all. So even if I'm jointing really long stock, it works just fine. And then also just here is my 15-inch thicknesser, which has a helical cutter head, which I purchased from Bird or Balrid or somewhere, but that made the world of difference on the machine. Now, just a little bit further back, once again, we've got my bandsaw. Now, this is a 17-inch model, really nice machine. Once again, I got it from Hare & Forbes, which their machines are okay. I've got two machines I love from them, and I've had two machines I hate from them, so you know, it's kind of a gamble, but this, in this case, it's a really nice machine. But it would be nice to have a second saw, which means I don't have to change out the blade every time I go from resawing to curves and things like that. But now, just behind the bandsaw is my drum sander. Now, this is just once again Hare & Forbes. Well, it's a pretty good machine. It did take a while to get it tuned up, but once I had it tuned, it's performing quite well. Now, in the very back corner is my dust collector and my homemade cyclone, which I've also made a video on. Now, I made a video on a smaller version, but it can easily be scaled up. So if you want to see that, just click here. But yeah, it's a 2200 CFM dust collector or something like that, and it's plumbed in with a 6-inch main line all the way along, and then it just reduces to 4-inch at the machines. And it's actually performs really well for this size workshop. Now, this is the first machine I ever bought for myself, well, at least first cast iron machine, and it's the 8-inch jointer. And I've also retrofitted this with a helical cutter head because I was so impressed by the improvements it made to the planer. So this is a really nice machine. I know some people have had bad batches come through, but I must have got a good one because pretty much from day one it's been tuned perfectly. I never had to adjust the beds and things like that. But yeah, I really like this machine. It was the first one, so I'll probably have it for a long time until it breaks. Even though I have that 14-inch jointer, this is still useful to have because that helical cutter head means that I can use it on highly figured woods or weird grains and things like that and not have any tear out. Now in the other corner is that wood rack that I talked about. So this used to be down the very front of the workshop, and it's looking a little bit bare compared to what it used to be, but it's a nice rack. It's just some sort of click together shelving I got at Bunnings, which is a hardware store like Home Depot, but crapper. And yeah, so it does the job. Each shelf can hold about 750 kilos, so plenty of capacity there. And just to the side is sheet goods, and on the floor is just stuff I need to sort out still. So, and then just to the side of that is my sort of sharpening station and my bobbin sander. So I've got my grinder, my whetstone, and my bobbin sander. Now I can't really get the camera in very close to the lathe, but this is my lathe. It's very small, it's underpowered, it's pretty bad, and you get what you pay for. Now this beast here is the reason for the full rearrangement of the shop, because it is so big. Now this is a 1985 WoodWorking panel saw. I think the model number is PGK 1500, but I could be wrong. But yes, this thing is an absolute beast. So it's a 12-inch main blade. It's got a scoring blade unit on it as well, so it means I can work with veneered sheets or melamine and not have any chip out. This table here is fully sliding and things like that. So it's a really nice upgrade, and it's super accurate, and the weight of it alone makes it super stable. So I'll move the camera in and show you a few details of this saw, because I know a lot of you have been asking since the last video. Now, this table saw has two configurations. It's got this one here, which is its standard table saw sort of configuration. So the operator stands to the left of the blade, and you ride something along the rip fence. Now, on top of that, it's also got a sliding table, which can be used with full-size sheet of plywood or things like that. And that just means this rail here gets slid out, and then this table, with the use of a pin underneath, begins to slide. Now the fence on this unit actually slides completely out, so I can do normal rip cuts that you would do with a normal table saw, or if I'm doing cross cuts with the sliding table, I can slide the fence out of the way so I can use it as a stop, and then as I pass through the blade, it stops it from binding, because there's no fence on the other side of the blade, if that makes sense. Now the cross-cut table here, or the sliding table, has 1.5 meters from the edge of the fence to the beginning of the scoring blade. So that means I can cross-cut full-size sheets of plywood here and have it supported the entire cut. Okay, so that's my workshop. Now, hopefully that wasn't too boring for you guys. There's a lot of things in here, so I didn't know what I should go into detail on and what not. But if there's anything you want to know more about, leave a comment below and I'll try and cover it in a future video. Now, I know I didn't go into any of my handheld tools or my hand power tools, or hand tools, I should say. But really, if I do that, this video would go on for way too long. So if you do want to see that, leave a comment below again, letting me know, and I'll make sure I get that done one day soon. So thanks for watching. Check out my Facebook page, facebook.com/JordsWoodShop, and like that if you want to see all these behind the scenes photos and things of current projects or whatever. And also check out the website if you haven't already, so just JordsWoodShop.com. So thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.